shut up! Or what? You gonna fuck me? Her voice is almost a whisper now. You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about? Your field of view narrows. The branch slowly moves, becoming entirely two-dimensional. The metal buckle glimmers, catching the noon light as the corpse slowly rotates. The slow movement of the branch in the wind in your shoulders directing the gun syncs up, dancing hypnotically. As you wait, your breathing slows down. Some mosquito-like organism buzzes in your peripheral. Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty? The buckle explodes into tiny pieces, coming loose with a whir. With your hand numb from the recoil, you look at the body slumped down. For a moment, the man appears to kneel in front of you, looking straight at you, helpless, trapped within itself. Who killed you? Communism. It takes a millisecond for the association to flash within your cortex. You have no idea where it's coming from, only that it's right. Then the rigor in his muscle gives up, and he smashes sideways into the spring mud, letting out a horrid stench. You've been policed. Ace high. The lieutenant raises his right hand, waiting for you to slap it. The ace high, a custom invented by the aerostatic brigade during the revolution, is used to celebrate success in Ravenhall, especially in sports. The gesture has spread across the world, despite the defeat of the revolutionaries themselves. You could add an ace low to it, if you like, by turning your back after the high and waiting for another. The high arrives with a sharp slap. As you turn around, there's a moment of doubt. Feels like that low ain't gonna connect. Chill, it's gonna connect. But then it does, in furious precision. The lieutenant is not one to leave an ace low hanging. I knew these guys were faggots. His voice is deeply approving. Yeah, we're faggots. Got a problem with it? Connor cries with laughter. Sounds like someone strangling a seagull. It's clear he enjoys himself. I knew they suck each other off. What now? We will perform a field autopsy and determine the cause of death, but before, excuse me, he needs to turn away from the corpse. Slumped on the ground like that has not improved the way the corpse smells. The fowl seems to have released something deep inside it. The stench is getting bad. I'm sorry to interrupt the jubilations here. I need a little breather before we go to the autopsy. Wait, field autopsy? Yes, he covers his nose. The 4 phases of murder scene. 1. Investigation of the scene. I can't say I'm satisfied with that part yet. Still want to know what's in that trash container. He points to it. 2. Initial examination of the victim. We were exhaustive in our efforts there. Good job. 3. Field autopsy. This will not be pleasant or easy, and it will have to be performed on the scene. The fuck are they on about? Cop is gonna cut his shit up next. 4 and final, transport of the coroner's case to the district morgue. I will do that. The lieutenant stops. God, he stinks. Don't we have someone else for the autopsy? Like a doctor? No, you and I are detectives. The honorary rank of detective signifies our ability to handle the entire incident chain, from crime scene to autopsy to cleanup. We do it all. Honorary rank. An honor and a burden attached to your rank. Mine is lieutenant detective, unfortunately. Can't tell you how tired I am of this corpse. He's growing truly tired of it. It's not merely moodiness. His tolerance limit is near. I don't think I'm detective. We treating like that? Of course you are. Your station would not have assigned you to this case otherwise. Alright. In the meanwhile, we should try to interview Everett Clare, the leader of the union. Harbor property was clearly used in a hanging. He points to the belt. The harbor just east of here. Getting in might prove a challenge though. Or we could ask around for the representative of the logistics company. My initial information says the Wild Pines have sent some sort of strike negotiator to run and control back from Ever. You could ask the gardener for directions. Is this the famous list of initial interviews? Yes, he nods slowly. And those were the interviews. Let's go. The pile of Eternite looks strange now that Connor told you about this pad. What is this? It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against an old shack. Glad you asked. When junior researchers Olari Tao invented Eternite in the Varna Polytechnic Institute some 30 odd years ago, he thought it would last forever, hence the name Eternite. Sadly, the only lasting thing turned out to be the material's highly carcinogenic effect. Why am I looking at this pile of roofing material? Because unless Kun lied, you should just be able to pull the panels aside. There it is. You see a shabby little door. So this is the shack Kuno mentioned. Let's take a look inside then. Be still by beating heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean. I wasn't thinking about taking it, I swear. I was just thinking about justice. Of course, detective. Swift justice. Don't worry, we don't have to investigate every trace of narcotics. The lieutenant points to the ladder in the corner. Yeah, swift, lightning justice. Faster, harder, justicier. See that ladder there? It's probably another way into the industrial harbor, no? Secret path the local kids use. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says "Whirling in Racks." There's something in there, not necessarily connected to the case, but still. Why am I looking at you, trash container? You're just a trash container. Just a trash container? There's no such thing. Your finger starts to itch just looking at the padlock. Lieutenant, what do you think could be in there? Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be evidence too. Yes, I feel like there's something in there. What do you mean, feel? It's extrasensory perception. Whatever is in there holds a special significance. I agree. We should get someone from the remote viewers division in here. He's being sarcastic. Do not ask what the remote viewers division is. What is the remote viewers division? How do detectives from all the precincts who experience extrasensory perception go to the remote viewers division? Their work is invaluable to the force. It's remarkable how he can keep a straight face. Take note, the lieutenant is well versed in deadpanning, Many of the things he says could be meant in jest. Wow, could you get them here? No, because they don't exist. I'm so disappointed right now. I thought there was a remote viewers division. There isn't, but we should still access the container. How do we get the lock open? We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage. Or... did someone say pry bar? Fuck yeah, pry bar. Pry bar, pry bar. In your palm zone, it's called touch. To grasp it once more, as you've done so many times. Or, Lieutenant? Or we could ask for a key from the manager of the building in racks. He probably has one. He might also have information. This is better than the pry bar idea. Ask the manager? Bullshit! Go straight for the pry bar and pry this baby wide open. The rotting man lies on his side with his eyes looking straight at you. The belt is still around his neck, his body is supine and open to intrusion by autopsy. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. First, what exactly is a field autopsy? Come on, officer. He pulls on a pair of latex gloves. You know what a field autopsy is. You've done 100 of them. What you do know is that 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Mundi, is the world's highest summit, and the failure of the 38 single Et Puce du Sang to crack the top 20 was the death knell of disco. But what a field autopsy is, you have no idea. Why don't you know? What use are you? You must have confused me with the Copopedia. Who's the Copopedia? I think I need to talk to him. You, sir, you're the Copopedia. Actually, it appears I have forgotten what a field autopsy is. Fine, the lieutenant sighs. It's a 3-part form to be filled out on the scene by the detective responsible. One takes notes, the other dictates. The goal is to establish cause of death. Do we need a scalpel for it? A scalpel is not always required. I hope this is one of those cases. Detective's gloves are, however. Do you have another pair of gloves? Unfortunately, no. I have gardening gloves. Maybe they are enough. They're better than nothing. The lieutenant looks at the gloves. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things while you will take notes. You're being handled. If you resist now, he will turn on his heavy-duty authority mode. You'll get your chance to dig in later. Okay? Where should I take these notes? In your paperwork, officer. Just fill out the field autopsy form. Besides, already expecting the answer. You're not gonna believe this. I think I've lost my paperwork. Now they only have one paperwork too. Officer, what haven't you lost? I still have my disco trousers. Yes, barely. He looks at his blue notebooks and sighs. I can't give you my paperwork. There's an autopsy from there, several actually, but only if it helps move things along. I should have just brought a dictaphone, he mumbles. Let's work off yours for now. Right, the autopsy form is near the end. He hands you his notebook and his pen. You find a moment as the lieutenant inspects the dead man's fingernails, just a few glances. The pages are filled with bulky freehand that's nearly illegible. Still, you can make out a case with a curious title. The Man with the Hole in His Head. Ha! This appeared to be a case investigated about 3 weeks ago. Workplace accident. The titular character's wife tried to get a compensation. The company was not forthcoming. It's hard to make out if the hole was fatal. It's very hard to draw a conclusion. All I can make out is that he's in a hurry to solve the case. The tempo of the handwriting says as much, and that there are a lot of notes in there. Most of them are made prior to arriving at the scene in preparation. It's not spelled out explicitly, but the lieutenant fears tier is forming between the liberal moralist establishment of Ravenhall and her populist citizenry. This populist force, potpourri of far right and left, is exemplified in the Debadio Union. Their strike, if allowed to escalate into violence, adds to a growing sense of civil war in the city. He is extremely neutral even in his notes, but avoiding this escalation is Kim's primary concern when dealing with the situation in Martinez. No. Maybe you're imagining it, but there are some remarks in there and they're not all negative. Referred to as the 41st by your station number and what? And the 41st comes off as a moderately competent detective. Maybe you are a moderately competent detective. Competent. Sorry about that. Oh, so here it is. What? The dead man stares in silence as you crack open the ledger. The bright red paper is covered in boxes and lists describing the condition of his skin and organs in 3 parts. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out first. It begins with assistant. That's you. On the first question and I already don't know the answer. Then an energetic start to an autopsy. I agree. Pig's messed up. Kuno feels pity. Just leave it empty, officer. The corpse lies there, indifferent to your retrograde amnesia. The next box says, coroner's case no. KK 570803.0815. Write it down. Next, name. Next, date of birth. Age. The man corrects his glasses. Roughly 50. Try 40. The damage is so extensive it's better to err on the young side. I'm gonna write 42. He nods. Race? Mondio. Subgroup? Occidental, as per your observation. Write it down. The pudgy mess looks neither Mondio nor Occidental. It doesn't even look human. The next line says, as you read it, you think that leaves out dark-haired, Mescue, Sao, Sarmirzin, Kedriatic, leather skin Occidental means this man could be Vespertine, Oranjese, Messenian. Those 3 on the table. A solid guess, Mr. Racial Profiler. Also of note, your unconscious racial profiling machine ruled out Messenian depth of prey, disparado de Coporonis and Cobos. That leaves Vespertine Oranjese. Continue. Sex? Fucky. The most experienced. Oh my god. Male. He's gonna have sex? Right, fucky. Pig's gonna have sex. Naval Lieutenant does not double check your notes. El Bigo Mistaco. Lieutenant. Dead of death. We're still going with March 4th, 51. Right, 040351. What else? He looks over his shoulder. 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case. KK 5705030815 listens motionlessly, with the cargo belt still around his neck. Only 1 box remains. Evidence of treatment? None, at least not after the initial examination. A strange word. Treatment. What exactly is treatment anyway? Interfering with the body's position of wounds post-mortem. Why did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed. Don't overdo it. It's okay to be unsure. I'm not so sure. Didn't the footprints look like he was carried over? They'd have to have incapacitated him and carried him over. This man was more than a match for untrained dockworkers. He placed his hand on the dead man's chest as if in preparation. His central nervous system recognizes this gesture. It is the station of the breath, ecclesiastic, religious in nature. A holdout from the Predolorian burials writes, it takes him 2 seconds to perform, then, somewhere in Jamrock North, a small woodshed behind Rosenkraut's row, Lieutenant Nick Furbach puts his hands to the chest of a small corpse, no larger than a monkey. It's raining outside. The light drizzles. There is darkness in the shed. Elsewhere yet, an obese female sits in a wicker chair, a silhouette bow-like against the window. Outside, Grand Couronne. The day is turning dim for Sergeant Mac Thorson. Hand extended, he approaches. to make sure she is dead more than anything else. The building is tall, 7 stories wide, wind wrapped in solitude. Most of the apartments are unoccupied. This was a suicide, the other an accident, the small one. And so across Jamrock Hall City, GRIH, 42 deceased persons found today, 42 stations of breath. We should start the post-mortem. The corpse cannot feel Kim's hands on his chest, if no longer meaningfully interacts with its surroundings. Ticket boxes and lists on red copier paper tries to answer why. Clothes, he begins. The deceased wear armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Bubble 1, I think. Let's see. He turns the body onto his sides to check the underwear label. See, it's happening. Bubble, yes, inexpensive, size M, color white. The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something more lurid. The boots are ceramic, vitreous in enamel. They're fused to his skin from blood flowing downwards post-mortem. Removal of the boots is left for processing. It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to. You have deserved them more than anyone else. Oh my god. When am I gonna get them? Patience. After the autopsy, before the body is taken away, there will be a window of opportunity after the lieutenant has gone to sleep. I hope this has helped you, my liege. Okay. The boot has a serial number. He twists the dead man's foot. It's E50 100 1000. The line between the plates are in the shape of the alphanumerical. Oh boy, I misspelled that. Sure. The number is purposely concealed by the design. Tattoos. He stands up, feet planted on either side of the body. The upper torso is covered in a single continuous tattoo resembling a map of the night sky. It reaches from the right shoulder to the heart. The ink is blue and white. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings to be added to the case file as document A1. The photo is taken on the scene using a Trigant Mini. The deceased has a belt for airlifting cargo around his neck, tied with a hangman's knot. Color yellow, length 3 meters. There's a buckle on the other end. He produces a measuring tape, well nourished, athletically built, measuring 180 meters, generally consistent with age 42. Preservation is good, ambient temperature below freezing. The spine is bent more than the lieutenant compensated for. The buster's actual height is about 185, and no, you cannot take him straight on. I'm going to write 185 meters, Lieutenant. Of course, I undercompensated. He pockets the tape. Body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. He kneels in to get a better look. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short. His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to the touch, not that different from a living person after a swim. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown hair start sticking to your hand, like thread of a ragdoll's head. There's a Bruntin in there. He's combed his hair back with oil. Keep. More hair sticks to your hand, hair of the rain-soaked head of a dead man. There are bumps and dips on the skull, an alien landscape. For a fraction of a second you feel something, an irregularity, but then it's gone, too minute to register in your mind. There, dead man, you were someone's child, it's all over now. What was that? A bump. What was what? Bruntin? There's Bruntin in his hair. There, baby. And Ten watches you in silence. Write it down. Short, light brown, male pattern baldness. That was some sick shit, psychopath. Because lividity is consistent with having a wet faint, as noted. The head is congested. Contusions are present on the head, chest, and thighs, indicating stones thrown low velocity. Fucking low velocity, ching chong. The kid explodes. You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking max. Talking shit about Kuno's velocity. The lieutenant pays no heed. In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp and chest, consistent with predation. Write it down, but meant for high velocity. The ligature mark. The lieutenant produces a small folding knife. With the other hand pulling on the belt, he starts cutting into the polyester. The stench is horrid. After a while, it's obvious the material cannot be cut. The steel wiring, he concedes, breathless. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark. May I try? It's no use. We should get chain cutters. You can try with them. I have a pair in the toolbox of my kinema. Let's go get them. Damn corpse. We had a good rhythm going. Kim gets up and brushes his pants.